Since trading is nothing but a game of beautiful probabilities, it is imperative that we alert ourselves when the probabilities turn in our favor. In this video, you are going to learn how to set up alerts on the ThinkorSwim platform. We are going to be covering how to set up alerts when a stock breaks into an upward direction, how to set alerts when a stock is oversold, and how to set up alerts at confirmation. And in return for this video, the only thing I ask of you is that you hit that ravishing like button. That is, of course, a great way to send me an alert that you think this video is ravishing as well. And of course, also subscribe for more short, sweet, and simplified videos on how to trade the stock market. Okay, so say we're looking at AMD. Now, one of the biggest factors that I like to look for is a stock that has recently broke into an upward direction. We like it when the stocks are trading above the long-term SMA line because that means that we're in an upward direction overall. So AMD, our beautiful swing trade pattern that we've been talking about for quite a while, AMD just broke into a downward direction below our SMA line, and it's also below our price strength SMA line. So I don't want to stare at this position all day. I don't know if you want to, but I don't want to stare at this position all day. So what I recommend doing is setting an alert that alerts you when the stock breaks back into an upward direction, if it breaks back up into an upward direction. So in order to do that, you just go ahead and right click on my computer. It's just 2 fingers, and then you go over to create alert. And usually when you're setting an alert, you're going to set it to a certain price point, maybe previous resistance, and then you type in a static number at which it alerts you. But for this, we're actually going to be doing a study. So you click on the price and you go to study, then you go to edit, then you go behind it. Now this is what the condition I set before, but we're not going to worry about that now, just to make sure it's clear and you have no conditions. Then you're going to go to add conditions. So we want to set it so that it alerts us when the stock breaks above the SMA line, our long-term SMA line, because that's a confirmation of an upward direction. We're going to go to select condition. We're going to go to price. Now we want it to open above our long-term SMA line. So we're going to look for open. Where is open? Here is open. Double click open. And then we want it to go above. So we need the price to be greater than the SMA line. Study, because the SMA line is a study. Simple moving average. Plot SMA. And now the long-term SMA line is set to 180. The short-term is set to 9. And you can see this the stats at which we have them set, or the specifications right here. Close 180, blah, 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 close 9. So we just have to adjust this to make sure it is 180. That way it will alert us when it crosses above the 180 and not the 9, 180. And then we push save. So it will alert us when this condition is met, when the open candlestick is greater than the simple moving average at 180. Wonderful. And then a little trick to make sure that you set it up right is go and make sure that the condition is set up, and it'll show you the value of the alert based on the different specifications on the previous price action. So if you're looking at this, let's take a look. We're looking at the 180-day chart, so we're going to choose a aggregation period of 4 days because, oh wait, not 4 days. We're going to choose an aggregation period of 4 hours because we have the 180-day 4-hour aggregation period. And if we're looking at this chart, we can see down here that every single time, if it was 0, that the alert wouldn't have alerted you, and that when it was 1, it would have alerted you. So we can go back and look at the actual price action and see where we would have been alerted and where we wouldn't have been, and see if we had set this up correctly. This is just a way to make sure that you've set it up correctly, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong if you don't put the right specifications. So make sure that you're using this preview function to make sure that everything's set up properly. So if you're looking at this, you could see that where was it not? So right here was the break below the upward direction. So where was it not greater than the upward direction? Every point where it was at 0, right? So all of this point, we were in upward direction, so the alert value was 1. That meant that the condition was met. So let's just go ahead and look back at the price action and see all the different times where the condition would not have been met, just to make sure that we're back testing this correctly. So over here, right after 12:21, and then right between 12:15 and 3:15. Let's just go look and make sure that everything is as it should be. And when we go back to the preview window, we can see that during these time periods where it was in a downward direction, we have the alert value set to 0. So we know that this has been set correctly, and we know that this is going to alert us when the study is true. When, again, the open is greater than the opening candlestick is greater than the simple moving average at a length of 180. And that would mean it's in an upward direction. And that would mean that when it alerts us, we know that it is in an upward direction. It's going up. And that would be a beautiful elevating factor. And then we can go ahead and push create. And now when it breaks above the SMA line, it will alert us. Okay, so let's say we're looking at another stock, say HY. HY. HY it's gapping up a little bit. Let's say that we want to be alerted when we are below fair value or oversold, because it looks like we're trading a little bit high. You could say this is a momentum position. Let's look at it intraday. Yeah, so we're trading a little bit high, right? We're below fair value intraday. Long term, we know that we're overbought, but let's just say that we're looking to take a position in this intraday. We've had a 12% run up. Let's say we think it's going to continue to run up, and we're right below the directional strength, and we have a little bit of a confirmation over the SMA line. But let's say we want to get in when it's oversold, because we want to make sure that we are increasing the amount of upward potential and minimizing the cost as much as possible. So let's say we want to be alerted when we're below oversold. When we're oversold, then we have a good deal. Getting a good deal is a huge elevating factor that pushes the odds of success more in our favor. So to do that, you go over to create alert like I just did, and then you go down to this study, edit. We're going to get rid of the old study that we just put, and we're going to add a condition. So this is the RSI. So we're looking for the study to be the RSI, not the RWSI. Do not click RWSI. Okay, RSI is going to be, so we want it to be lower than 30, right? So this is the oversold line. This is overbought. This is oversold. 30 is considered oversold as per my definition and as per the default definition on ThinkorSwim. So we're going to be setting it to lower, less than oversold, right? Yes, so less than oversold, RSI. And we're going to plot oversold. So it will alert us when the RSI is less than oversold as plotted by the RSI. And we're going to push save. And now we're going to check it. What is this, the 1 day? So we want an aggregation period of 1 minute. And let's see if this is true. So let's look. When was it oversold? Intraday. Right here. Right here. Was it oversold? Did it alert you when it was oversold? Would it have alerted you when it was oversold based on the specifications that we just set? Yes. Yes, it would. 0. 0, the value of the alert is 0. That means it's not alerting you. And then it was 1. That meant that it would have alerted you. That means that our setup is correct, and we have set this up correctly. And then we could go ahead and create. And now it will alert us next time it's oversold, so we can go off and do other things. And then it will alert us if our criteria is met. If the criteria is never met, then it won't alert us, and it will reset. But hopefully the criteria is met, and then we'll have a good play with that. I don't know that I would even like this play because of the low volume. This isn't really a great play because of low volume, but let's say we were looking for a catalyst play like we had this morning, then maybe that would be something that we're looking for. Okay, let's say we're looking at Amazon. Let's say we want to buy in when we have an upward direction. Okay, so we already know how to do that. Go to create alert. Go ahead and go to study, edit. We have the RSI since we just did that, but we want to set so that we have an upward direction. So let's go ahead, and what was it that we set when we have an upward direction? We have price. Whoops. Price set to open because we want it to open above the upward direction SMA line. The long-term SMA line, it indicates that we're in an upward direction when it trades above it, and below it indicates that we're in a downward direction. We're currently in a downward direction, so we want to be updated when we're in an upward direction, which will be that break above the SMA line. So open, we want to be notified when it's greater than, right? Greater than simple moving average, as indicated by the long term, which is 180. Save. Let's make sure that this is correct. We're looking for the 1 minute. Would it have alerted us when we were above for this time span? Well, let's see. Number 1, right at this point, it says we were above the long-term SMA line. Is that true? Yes, we were above it. What about this point? Were we below it? Yes, we were below it. So we know that that has been set correctly. But let's say that we would like to set it for a different time span. Let's say we want to set it for the 20-day. We want to be alerted when it's above the 20-day long-term SMA line. Okay, so we go to create alert. We go to study. This is the RSI. Value, price. Open, greater than, study, simple moving average, plotted by the 180 day. Save. Now we want to be alerted when it's on the aggregation period of 1 hour. Let's see. Now at this point, Was it trading above the long-term SMA line? Yes. What about at this point? Yes. So we've done that correctly. Okay, but what about confirmation? I always say wait for confirmation because of the simple fact that you want to buy in when the price action is confirming your hypothesis for the stock. You want the momentum going in your favor. So how exactly is it that you can wait for confirmation without staring at the chart? Well, set an alert to alert you when it has a confirmation. So to do that, all you have to do is go over to create alert, go to study, edit, delete. Okay, so let's go to condition. We're going to go to price. We want it to open above the blue SMA line. When it opens above the blue SMA line, that is a confirmation point. When it opens above the red, that's a change of direction. So let's go ahead and greater than the value of the blue SMA line. And the blue SMA line is set to 9. The other one is set to 180. So this is good, 9. Okay. And we want the period to be set, since we're looking for confirmation on this chart, we'll set the period to 1 hour. The aggregation period is going to be set to 1 hour. Okay, save. And this is the condition. Let's go to the condition setup and see if this is true. All right, so at this last point here, whoops, this is the wrong one, 1 hour. Okay, so at this last point here, was this a confirmation point? No. Was this a confirmation point? No, but it was above it did open above the SMA line. But what we care about is the first candlestick holding above the SMA line. And if we set this alert while we are below the SMA line, then it will alert us. The first alert will be when it opens above it, and then we can cancel the alert. So at this point right here, we would have been alerted when this opened above the SMA line. See, this one, it was above the SMA line, but it didn't open above it. This one, it opened above the SMA line, so we would have been alerted with the value of 1. 1 means that it is alerting us, 0 means that it is not alerting us. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you set up an alert for confirmations, for overselling, and for directional strength. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to us below or join our free ZipTrader Circle Facebook group. We also have a Discord chat, a trading tutorials playlist, and a bunch of other resources if you look around the ZipTrader hemisphere. I also, of course, post nightly watch lists in the ZipTrader Circle Facebook group. So if you are having a hard time finding stocks, make sure to check that out. It is a completely free Facebook group. Anyways, folks, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.